Welcome into DC On Screen, episode 332. I'm your host, David C. Robertson. This is my co-host, Jason Goss.
Howdy.
Today we are going to get super spoilery on Arrow 515, Fighting Fire with Fire. To recap, Mayor Queen is in danger of being impeached. The city council commences a hearing on the subject and it's not looking good, according to Adrian. After Oliver is attacked, leaving the hearing, the rest of the team takes to the streets after Vigilante. That all fails, but a fight between Vigilante and Prometheus later would seem to give us a dead Vigilante and a Prometheus that's actually Adrian Chase. Well, Vigilante makes it somehow and ends up fighting the team and another Oliver assassination attempt, but Curtis, who has T-spheres now, pulls it together and kinda wins for once. Meanwhile, Thea descends into blackmail and eventually resigns because she doesn't like the direction she's heading in. Susan's reputation is restored, giving her another chance to maybe trust Oliver, but she might be kidnapped by Adrian anyway. A very eager Curtis rushes to meet Paul only to be handed divorce papers, and Felicity officially joins the Hacktivism gang she's been flirting with, so HELIX is probably way more powerful than ever. Back in Russia, Anatoli challenges Gregor to some Russian word that basically means, who does the crew really stand behind? They have 1 hour before the showdown, and Oliver uses it to prove that Gregor has been taking Rubles from Kovar, which sways the vote in Anatoli's favor. The whole thing still ends in a shootout, so, you know. Alright. So,
solid episode.
Pretty solid episode. I do have some questions.
Shoot.
Okay.
Seems like fitting.
So, Dinah found a piece of Vigilante's mask.
Or suit, something.
Yeah, and then she's on the phone with Oliver, and then she turns around and Adrian takes it from her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she shows up to the Arrow Cave, or whatever we're calling it, with the piece of his suit so that the T-sphere could analyze it and track it. What's happening?
I don't remember how that went down. I actually think there was something there. I just don't remember it.
Also, the T-sphere tracking the suit was dumb. It just was.
I don't care. There's spheres. I don't care. They could I'm so happy to see those. They could have tracked In-N-Out burgers. I don't give a damn. I'm so happy to see them.
It would be big belly burgers, but yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Now look, that's pretty much, those were my two big things in the episode where I was just like, what is happening?
All of if nothing else, all of the lovely jokes about balls, my T-spheres, don't call them balls.
Yeah.
I mean,
so what? You can't handle yourself on the field, so you make yourself a couple of balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. It was funny.
I mean, I feel like mandatory to hit up a couple of those jokes. Also, still Renee and Curtis. He's, what does he say to him? It was, I think that's the line. He pulls back and says, "That was too harsh, wasn't it?" Yeah, but you recognized it. I'm trying to work on it.
Yeah.
They're doing great together, man.
Yeah, I'm enjoying those guys. I'm enjoying them
really
a lot.
Everybody's chemistry. It's why one of the reasons the show is really just kind of nailing it right now is everybody's chemistry is pretty tight.
Yeah, dude, I actually wrote down, WTF, Thea wants to pin it on the innocent dead guy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
it really
man.
is a moron. She would have done that in a heartbeat. Not even told Oliver about it. She would have already cut a few checks, pinned it on the dead guy, and gotten it so far out there that he couldn't possibly pull it back.
Yeah.
But see,
it's not blackmail, it's politics.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I like that last episode. But still, or this episode. I like where it left us. I mean, she resigns. And
yeah.
And to some extent, I'm exhausted with her resigning because I really liked her being in this position. She was really effective and pretty damn impressive. And but
see, we've had two or three episodes with her back, and she's being this way. She's getting worse and worse.
She's channeling her bloodlust through politics, and I like her recognizing that. I like it being her decision completely to go fix herself. She's still finally a Thea that's doing things because she feels that it's the right decision. She's not being led by anything. Even Oliver tries to stop her, and he's like, "No, seriously, the paperwork's on the desk. See you, buddy."
I mean, there is a part of me that's a little annoyed that for the first time in the show, she's making decisions for herself, not because of Guy, and she just becomes Moira when she does that. But
yeah.
I mean, look at the time. This is the timeline of my notes.
But look, that's realistic though. All right. It doesn't matter who you are. There's some part of you that, well, some people aren't like this, but a lot of people are like this. There's things you did and didn't like about your parents, and you spend a lot of your life trying to make sure you don't do the things you didn't like about your parents. Thea's going to face that too.
Yeah.
And I think it really. I mean, you saw the look on her face last week when he says like that's something Mom would have done. And she's like, "Oh crap, you're right." Mm-hmm. Like it hurt. She felt like she was undeveloping emotionally when it happened.
But see, after that, it seemed like this was a step back until she resigned. Like the timeline of my notes is like, WTF? Why is she doing that to an innocent dead guy? Quote, it's not blackmail, it's politics.
I have that one written down too. Because I thought, she's really going down this road, huh?
I got this. Sometimes we do fight fire with fire, but we always risk getting burned. Thea, again, is politics. And then I just write in all caps, fire Thea. Nothing could have made me happier than her resigning.
It made sense. It made me so happy that it was her. That Oliver didn't fire her for her own good or something.
I mean, it made me a little annoyed that he's like supposedly this amazing mayor and he hasn't fired Thea yet. But
no, I mean, she's making some I don't know, she's making some daring moves, but she's not in firing land yet. I mean, they're going through an impeachment. I don't think she's the major concern at the moment. Like the impeachment process was the major thing. I know. And she brought it up, but she didn't actually do it. And if you have an inner circle in anything, like if you're game planning any situation in your life that's really got a lot of possibilities, you want somebody in the circle who's like, all right, what if we frame the dead guy? Just throwing it out there. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't have to listen to him every time.
Right.
But it's good to have a guy that's thinking that way.
My point was, like, it was everything with Thea this episode pissed me off, except for the bit where she resigns, and I was like, you know what? That is a good conclusion to what just happened, all the stuff that just happened. I'm okay with this now. That makes me happy that she...
It was part of a good arc.
Yeah, that was fine.
Wrapped it up really well. Actually, you're overlooking the best thing that happened to her this episode.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
It's a quick line. I'm not getting into a limo with you ever again.
I did think maybe I'll write that down, and then I didn't.
You just got to trust that your co-host is going to have your back sometimes here. Mm-hmm. Happy to be there for you, Dave.
I like Dr. Schwartz. Keep her around.
Yeah, she's cool.
Like, I forgot that she was even around. We had a night
nurse, yeah.
We have we can't call her night nurse, man. People get angry about that stuff.
Sorry. But, I mean, it's the same role a little bit. It's a very similar role.
It is. I mean, except she's not night nurse, she's night doctor.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, take heart, DC fans.
I'm just...
Our night nurse is a doctor.
There's another thing I was going to say about Iron Fist, but I'm just going to back away from that whole thing. I'm going to just walk right away. Yeah, I like that. I liked it. It's like, are you prescribing me a girlfriend? Or just a friend? Okay.
Yeah.
Like they're back and forth.
Yeah, keep her around. Do more with her. What are T-spheres? Curtis's balls.
Yeah. Now, something happened with Felicity and Diggle I liked. Mm-hmm. I think Diggle's the first one to actually describe the data that she has as a weapon. And Oliver's known she's had something going on, but I think Diggle's the first one who stepped in and said, like, dude, I don't like where you're going with this. Like, Oliver's actually trying to give her a space, because I think they've talked about it a little, but she's pretty much not really willing to listen to him, but she has no reason to not listen to John Diggle.
Except for, the first, 3 or 4 seasons of the show, all he did was tell people to lie to each other.
Yeah. But he didn't go kill her boyfriend, so...
That's true.
So, like, it'd be wrong for her to just shut down Diggle. Like, no, he's still a good friend of yours. He's had your back the whole time. Like, do you remember a time when Diggle, like, betrayed Felicity, for goodness sake? Because I don't. I don't remember a time he didn't have her back. So anyway, not listening to him would be, I think, just
when he was like, Oliver, you can't tell Felicity the truth. She'll never forgive.
Yeah, but that was bro stuff, and she never found out, right? So we're good. That's bro talk, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I mean, yes, that was wrong, but I don't think it's on the map as far as what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I like that someone she has to listen to finally called her on it. Literally describes it as a weapon. And, all it does is kind of push her further. Now she goes and meets up with the, little fangirl and, what is it, Ghost Fox Goddess or something like that?
I mean, yeah, I think that was her name.
That was her
name.
Yeah. Is back in the Hacktivism.
Well, that was Felicity's name.
Yeah, Felicity's name. I don't remember fangirl's name. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't either.
They showed it to us. I just don't remember it. Can I don't
know. I just remember, every time I see that girl, that little hacker girl come on, I'm like, you're cute. Be on the show more.
Yeah.
You're kind of adorable. For terrible things that you're doing on the computer.
Yeah, it's kind of like a puppy version of Felicity.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like you have an old dog and you really love that dog, but like it doesn't have the energy it used to.
Nope. Not going down that path. Not going down that path.
Like I've got a 6-year-old dog that I love to death, and then every now and then I'm like, I remember when you had energy. That was cute
I understand. Too. I understand that you have a special kind of affinity for actual dogs. Not in any way comfortable actually referring to Felicity as an old dog, young dog, anybody as puppies. That's just no. Mm-mm.
I'll leave you your mores, friend. Fine.
I will say though, it's got to be pretty hard being stealthy with that bright blue beam coming out of those T-spheres.
Yeah. It's okay. One has offensive, one has defensive capabilities. So I guess like one of them's gonna like sneak up on you. He's gonna make so many like, he's just gonna be like completely revamping these things every episode, and like he brought up quantum computing. Like that wouldn't be some giant breakthrough that would win him a Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
Eventually he's gonna have those things floating.
I mean, they are floating. They're already floating. They're flying around.
Yeah. I keep imagining like, and he's already in the right suit for it. I keep imagining, and by the way, in this episode, he finally won. It was his day. He got him out of it. I've got 2 of these. They aim themselves. Like he got to have the badass line at the end of the episode. I'm just so happy for him. And I keep imagining like toward the end of the season, there's this moment where there's finally a real pissed off like Mr. Terrific standing there, and the spheres are just floating around him, and like the bad guy finally looks scared of him for a second. That's the scene I want. Like Prometheus looks at him and goes, "Oh, well, damn, should have factored him in."
Yeah.
So speaking of him, what do we do with that?
Well, I mean,
because all the
Adrian
theories are out of the water.
Yeah. Well, Adrian. Adrian could still become Vigilante. Looks like he killed Vigilante. I doubt it because, we still don't know who Vigilante is, and I'm assuming that's another reveal.
Yeah, I mean it has to be, but I don't really know who to put behind the Vigilante mask now.
Unless it's Adrian.
I mean, I don't know how he's going to fight himself.
If they're twin brothers.
Of course. Of course.
One thought that, Oliver was responsible for a thing, or Green Arrow was responsible for a thing. And, then Adrian, or whoever, whichever one. Let's call the other one Phadrian. Phadrian and Adrian.
Yeah.
They took opposite sides on whether or not, Green Arrow was a good guy. I don't know, man.
I'm just thinking maybe that's why we haven't seen Artemis for a little while. They just put her in the Vigilante suit. Would make sense.
Oh, I thought maybe we haven't seen her for a while because she wasn't a good actress.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that was part of it. But you could still put somebody in a giant suit, use somebody else to do it, and not have to include them.
Right, you could. Or maybe Vigilante is Billy Malone now.
Just can't be.
I mean,
can it? I mean, that'd be a lot to fake your own death.
It would be, but it's Vigilante.
Now here's the question. Now, remind me how the scene went down if you do remember. Vigilante's out there. Prometheus attacks him.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't really remember.
I just turned around. I'm like, wait, they're fighting, and then he goes up the side of the building.
Yeah, Prometheus attacked Vigilante, and he was like, Oliver Queen is mine.
There we go. Okay. All right. So that definitely that's what we can establish is they both want to kill Oliver Queen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, so is that the red herring the other day from Mama Bear that didn't want to stop her help stop her son? If that was the guy, maybe it is.
Well, we don't know what her son looks like. Maybe her son changed his name to Adrian Chase.
Yeah, he could very well have. But maybe her son just is the guy that we talked about. I forget the name of the guy. I might have it in my notes, but I'd have to flip through and forget it. But the name of the guy they've been tracking down, it could have been this guy's son the whole time, and
yeah,
maybe he's Vigilante and it was Chase the whole time. I was Prometheus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I understand what they're going for with hey, Adrian Chase, that's the name of Vigilante. Let's not make him Vigilante. Just to screw with people. I understand it. I get it. It annoys me.
Well, I don't know. If they do something cool with it, I'm not annoyed. And which is generally the case. If you do something cool, no matter how dirty a trick you pull, I can usually hang it. But
not a lot of Quentin this episode. Maybe he's Vigilante.
Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt that one hard.
Laura.
No, wouldn't you love it if it was Alex Kingston?
Oh man, now I'm gonna hope it. Oh, I'm gonna be so annoyed when it's not.
I could buy it too. Like You got both of my daughters got associated with you, and both of them are dead. I'm gonna go kill Oliver.
Dude. Oh, that's so good. We are DC on screen.
now I know what I want, right?
Nowhere else to go.
No, I got one trope I want to point out.
Yeah.
There was a good use of a bad trope, and then a bad use of a bad trope. In order. Ready?
Sure.
Oliver starts to do is like, this team has really come together, and I love this guy, and
Save my life.
Yeah, save my life, and like he starts to do his speech, and Curtis just cuts him off. Great, bro talk, good stuff. I gotta go. Okay, like cutting off the speech, it was hilarious. It was just one of those moments where like, hey, you took a trope, you did something funny with it. Good job, show. But then they did something that like I've never understood, and I've seen it before. I've never understood why someone calls a meeting at a restaurant to hand over papers like divorce papers.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Public area. Harder for them to make a scene. That's why.
It's also not. I mean, you can just mail them. Real hard for them to make a scene if you're not there.
They could say they never got it.
Yeah, that doesn't work. You can have that shit served, man.
Yeah, but then you're dodging people.
Nah. No, they're divorce papers. You print them off again and send them back in. Man, I mean.
Plus, I think there's something like they always want to like. Okay, I owe them enough to hand it to them in person. You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like you don't get engaged over text.
Yeah. There's probably someone who has.
I mean, sure, but some forward-thinking, millennial out there has gotten engaged over text, and I hate them for it. But
or someone did it ironically just to be uber hipster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just one of those scenes that I always kind of thought, that's silly. Hated it for Curtis though, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get my man back. Oh, and the last thing I had is like, did Adrian like kidnap Susan at the end of the episode?
Well, they didn't really. He just glared at her. I
got the feeling he was about to invite her into a car ride she wasn't going to be able to talk herself out of.
Well, maybe.
Oh,
I don't know.
Something I didn't.
They started showing me words of names and playing music, and I think it meant it was over.
Yeah, it was finished. But I did write down an Oliver line. Green Arrow is not a hero. He's what's keeping Star City from being what it's meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly where they're going with that, but I did like his plan. Like, just throw Green Arrow under the bus, save his political career. Some part of me kind of likes the idea that some part of me thinks he may be toying with kind of
giving it up.
Yeah, like season 4, episode 1 style. Suburb living almost. Like, let's give it up. We'll do the mayor thing.
Well, there's precedent set for it in the show. Like, he's been talking about, like, for the last couple of years, he's been talking about, like, oh, how much good have we done? The city's even worse than it was when we started. Like,
what have we really accomplished? I can't do this forever.
But now he's accomplishing things as mayor.
Right.
And the only thing that's been really impeding his job as mayor is being Green Arrow.
Right. So, I mean, I'm not faulting the logic at all on that. And I kind of like the turn. I like the show went down that road, and I kind of want to see where they took it.
I'm down.
Only other thing I had this episode is about Russia.
Okay.
After he calls the whatever it is to, I don't know, the 1 hour detente before everyone decides who they're going with. He comes down there. He's like, "Oh, we're pretty much going to die. We're going to die." Well, why did you even do it then? I did not want to die in hospital basement. And just Oliver's reaction. That's fair, but.
I laughed at that.
I laughed at I didn't want to die in the basement, and then I laughed at like Oliver's timing on that. Fair, but just even arrows learned how to be a little funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good though.
Mm-hmm. And then you get to see like one of Green Arrow's first missions, the hunt for Rubles.
Rollicking Rubles, Ragman.
Arrow, you've had this storied, hyper-violent career of fighting villains and blah, 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 and whatever. What'd you do on, like, one of your first few missions? What'd you, like, tear the head off a tiger? Hunted down a laptop to find some misplaced rubles. Oh. Wow. Yeah, but, like, an hour later, I got shot at. Okay, all right.
Oh. Anyway. We are DC On Screen. You can find every episode at dconscreen.com. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook at DC On Screen. Proud members of the Giant Size Team Up Network, giantsizeteamup.com. We're going to be coming back with 2 news episodes on Tuesday. So, until that time, keep some DC on your screen.